How did I do that? Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Thou hast fled.
What the?
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and thou hast left me, a shadow of myself, trapped here in this prison.
I did not create this situation. I'm not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewling infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
Anyway, how come Hawk isn't the one with me here? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Let's go.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Relmar, and I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the Captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
His rank was granted in the field. You seem like you know enough about the Freeborn Blades to know what that means.
I have enough knowledge of your history to know that your leader has made a name for himself. So, yes, call him what you will. The fact that he is your captain concerns only you and those availing themselves of your services.
That's enough! We're not going to stand here bullshitting all night. Just what the fuck are you doing here, Relmar, you horse-tongued bastard?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arswipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah. Well, those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping Deadwalker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied, while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil!
See you later. Not this way. I'm not going back to that temple.
This swamp is teeming with life. I can't wait to discover all the species that live here. There is so much to be learned. I thought that nature had taken over again here in the swamp, but I sense there is something else.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes? I don't think this is the right direction. still haven't thanked you for everything you did at the temple.
Well, same here, I think. What did you people do to me anyway? Where does this power come from?
I often ask my father the same question. I have no idea what to do. But we're going to do everything we can to help.
This guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Falcon. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are?
The knight is called Ranval, last survivor of the Order of the Ember Knights, and now protector of Valvenor, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn. This is Valvenor. It is not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army. This village has known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the ample game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees, who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Mirana, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man now in charge of the village.
This is a very large inn, considering the size of the village. There must have been many visitors before the war.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. How come you talk that way? Always in the third person.
The way people speak is different from one place to another, and I am from another place. The knight's people are a warrior tribe from Algandar, and he is proud of them.
Where can I find the steward?
As the knight said, the steward is in the old inn, the big building in the middle of the village.
What does the steward want with me?
The captain has offered the services of the freeborn blades to the steward. The steward must have orders for the mercenary.
Shit. I'm gonna get stuck being this guy's errand boy. Damn. I knew I should have gone with the rest of the company. What can you tell me about this backwater town?
This village is a modest one, and its reserves are almost gone. Its only strength is its isolation in these swamps, but that is also its greatest weakness.
I already figured it was some kind of shithole.
That the refugees and the villagers must live together is difficult, and the situation is worsened by there not being enough food. The swamp offers protection against the Deadwalkers, but it also harbors many dangers. its creatures often attack the village. When the knight and the elf are not there to defend the walls, the watch often leave them unguarded. Shameless.
I'm going.
The swamp is our best defense. Happily, the wildlife are just as keen on attacking the Deadwalkers as they are the villagers. But the situation here in Valvanor grows worse daily. And each new wave of refugees increases the risk of drawing unwanted attention to this jungle.
No Ice Lord scouts who find this village will ever escape to tell the tale. Of that, I can assure you. Also, my men are reinforcing your defenses. Forgive me for saying, but you have some serious weak points. Especially the defenses around that refugee camp of yours.
The arrival of the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes has greatly improved our chances of survival, Captain. Believe me when I say that we are most grateful to have you with us. Needless to say, your men and the Red Scribes are welcome and free to go where they will. But as for any other newcomers, our gates are closed. You must understand that our food stores are as limited as our abilities to defend our village. Until you arrived, we had but one person who was even vaguely capable of treating our injured, and the case of Prince Orendil was completely beyond her skills. And there is this beast story, doubtless another fairy tale, the fruit of an alcohol-addled brain. Nonetheless, several of the Watch have gone missing. Something hidden in these swamps is causing these disappearances, but we cannot risk sacrificing any more of the few men remaining to us on sending patrols. Large groups entail moving chrysalids that are unmanageable. The others, quite simply, do not return.
Silence.
If I were to listen to everyone, I would need 10 times the number of men I have to verify the truth of every tale.
Enough. You must aid me to do this. I am not able to do that. Your endless wailings are unbearable.
In the name of... Vulcan?
But, by the gods, man, what is...
This world is condemned. The cold hath invaded its ground, its souls, and its heart. Yet here you stand, weaving your limbs like fish taken from the water. Miserably shuffling about to conserve the illusion of warmth and life, and not feel the passing of your last breath, while I must endure your wailings and lamentations. Pitiful.
Vulcan, stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not he who speaks.
All the fall to ruin about you. Yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot vanquish your dead walkers, no more than you can vanquish their necromancer masters. They draw their power from the very heart of the world. They drink it, they suckle it dry. Your only chance to cleanse what your own hath corrupted is to go to the World Heart and liberate it from its servitude.
The World Heart is a myth, a forgotten fairy tale, no more real than dragons or dwarves.
A myth. Continue hiding behind thy puny barricades, and thou wilt soon join thy myths and fairy tales.
Cease your pretense. I know you have returned to consciousness.
What the hell happened? I was just listening to the steward blabbing away with the captain, and then...
And then you lost control.
I don't know, it's like something in my head zapped me so it could use my mouth. But I was still there, still thinking what I was saying.
This is not the first time you have felt this presence manifest itself.
No. No, it's been there since the temple. It's also in my dreams. I think...
Interesting. It would seem that your body is host to some other entity. And it is clearly a spirit of fire.
No kidding. I got a demon in my head.
Something of the kind. In truth, I could not say what it is. Not yet, at least.
Don't make me laugh. After all, it's your disciples that let this thing out of its cage, right?
That has nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea of the implications of this incident?
What? Just because I said some weird shit? Believe me, it's not the first time that's happened.
Obviously, you haven't understood. The thing that is inside you, it wishes you ill. There is not enough space inside you for two souls. That demon wants your body. It will control you more and more until it has replaced you completely.
Ha! Thou thinkest I crave the body of a mortal? I am a prisoner here. My place is in the World Heart.
It will not hesitate to lie to you, to tell you that which you wish to hear, so that you will allow it to consume you.
I never asked for this cage. I never asked to be forced to hear thy every thought. It is I who have been invaded.
It speaks to you. Do not listen to it. Cast it from you. If you do not resist, it will crush your soul.
Hey, take it easy. One day at a time, okay? I'm gonna take a walk.
They look like giant, things.
Yes, yes, I know what you're thinking, mercenary.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles. I observed that the rippers always hide inside objects, like a tree trunk, for example. They're quite slow and only attack from a very close distance. On the other hand, they can grab their prey and drag them towards themselves. The sickles have a power that depends on their growth. The biggest ones are the most dangerous. Up close, their attacks can be frenetic and extremely dangerous. They can also leap onto their prey. Have you discovered any new creatures?
I destroyed some of the fungi, or parasite. They're like a round ball that doesn't move, but if you go too close to them, they release a poisonous cloud. It's better to attack them from a distance. So Alas is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
That's handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
At least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever my father was.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows, and we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really?
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
The captain wants me to help your village. You got a job I can do?
With our shortages of food and fighting men, our worn-out equipment and the growing lines at the healing house, I cannot deny our village is sorely in need of help. Sadly, I fear that these are not the sort of problems you're used to dealing with, unless I'm much mistaken.
Maybe I'll surprise you. Your guards... how can I put this? At first, I thought they were disobeying orders. Now I think maybe they don't even understand them. If you're stupid and incompetent, you should be digging turnips, not taking care of security.
You're beginning to worry me. Is it really that bad?
Are you kidding me? The state of their weapons is enough to make you cry. Maybe they'd be good for splitting logs.
Personally, I'm not capable of judging the aptitude of our sentries, but their poor results speak for themselves. Doubtless, you should share your observations with Mason, the chief of the watch. I should warn you, however, that he is of a somewhat stubborn nature.
Wouldn't be the first I've seen. So what's the problem with the healing house?
Quite simply, Mirana cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute giving out supplies to the refugees and refuses to admit that she cannot help everyone. She thinks she's fooling me. I have heard rumors that her food stock is running low. Unsurprisingly, the crowds outside are becoming restless. I believe they wish to continue handing out our food reserves as though they were unlimited. This is not the case, and thus, it is not an option.
So, you want someone to put her down?
Why, I never suggested any such thing. I just wish she would see reason, for all our sakes. But I have asked nothing of you. I was merely answering your question.
I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. I'm still not entirely convinced that it even exists. All I know is that several villagers have vanished. One villager is at present in the doctor's care, following a supposed encounter with the said beast. These swamps are crawling with dangers. There is nothing to suggest anything out of the ordinary. The refugees are always inventing horror stories in an attempt to force us to open our gates and let them inside.
It might be worth checking it out. You said you lost one of your patrols, right?
That is so. You should speak with Randval. He was most anxious to go out and hunt the beast down, but we needed him here. Now that we have more able bodies to guard our gates, I imagine he would be keen to pick up the scent once more.
I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. All I know is these swamps, the refuge...
It might be...
That is, now that...
We'll talk again later. Soldiers came up against a stronger force. Much, much stronger force.
You don't look much like a good luck charm. Fuck. You don't look much like a good luck charm. Fuck.
Please! Get me out of here!
I kind of have my hands full right now. Just let me deal with this creature, and I'll be right with you.
That's what they always say. And they always end up with their flesh torn to pieces.
Which is a real good reason to stop distracting me.
can't just leave that woman in this prison. We must find a way to free her from here.
Sybil, do not do that! I know this woman. She is not here by accident. She is a witch. If you free her, we all run the risk of falling under the power of her magic.
But Father, we can't just let this poor person die here. It would be inhuman.
Inhuman? That is exactly what she is, my child.
He's the wicked one. Aeolus, is it not? He's the one who imprisoned me, with no food or water, and barely clothed.
I what? You lying bitch! Don't listen to her.
Father?
She is trying to manipulate you. Use your brain, child.
I'm begging you, get me out of here. I can't hold on much longer.
So be it. I get paid for protecting you, not arguing with you. But you'll be explaining yourself to the captain.
Have you lost your mind? There is no question of leaving this poor woman to die here. This war cannot be won at the price of our humanity.
Stay away, you stupid girl. No! Fools! Leave her in that cage.
Now meet your eternity.
What are you doing to him? Let him go!
Very well. You may have him. I am finished.
Father? Father! Oh no, no! This can't be happening!
You're gonna wish you had died back there in that cell, you sick bitch.
Wait, wait! If I am to die, I wish to know who stands before me.
I am Vulcan, Powder Master of the Freeborn Blades. And as for the man you made the mistake of killing, he was our...
That is not my question. Who stands before me? Are you an imbecile or blind?
I might be the mercenary who is going to grab you by your snake of a tongue and throw you into the darkest pit he can find.
From what I can see, you're an imbecile, incapable of piercing the face that hides the true nature of the Red Square.
Well, I can pierce...
Mock if you like. Red Square. Aeolus the...
So what? We're at war, and getting our asses kicked. We can't really blame him for trying to find a way to...
Of course. It was for the good of all that I was It was to protect freedom that I... It was... Yes.
That's my father...
Sybil, wait! Witch, I suggest you behave yourself if you don't want to find yourself back rotting in that cell of yours. I'm far from finished with you. I have questions. Lots of questions. And you had better make damn sure I like the answers.
So be it. Then I will tell you exactly what you want to hear, mercenary.
You had the upper hand. Why did you decide to kill the leader of the Red Scribes?
I desperately needed to replenish my power, so I drained his. My mood grows a bit murderous when I get too hungry, or when I spend too many days trapped in a filthy cell without so much as a toilet. Your friend was no hero. His aim was to reproduce the same ancient...
He wasn't my friend. He was my employer, and a very influential man. You could have spared him, giving credence to your version of events, but you chose to kill him, and thus any chance of them listening to you.
He was a deceitful and manipulative man. No one would have listened to me, so I permitted myself the pleasure of preventing him from harming anyone else.
The World Heart has had nothing but suffering from these magicians. I rejoice at this death. We need more like it.
Let's say I understand your reasons, but it was still a reprehensible thing to do that has put us both in a seriously shitty situation. We're going to have to play this right in Valvador. We'll try to talk with the steward, or the Red Scribes will lynch you without a second thought.
We? Am I to infer that you're going to help me, gentle mercenary?
Somebody has to deal with it. You seem to take pleasure in exposing yourself. To trouble, I mean.
It's true. I hate denying myself a little pleasure, but I'm not worried about the outcome. Aeolus's daughter saw everything. She is an innocent, and will confirm everything that happened here. All you need to do is deliver your model prisoner to your steward.
Besides Aelas, did you see any of the other Red Scribes?
I was drugged before being brought here. Aeolus is the only scribe who came to visit me during my captivity. But his second-in-command must have known, although I don't know exactly how much Aeolus was able to manipulate his puppets. If they are all as naive as his daughter, I imagine the temptation must have been great.
The Red Scribes performed a ritual in an ancient temple. Does that mean anything to you?
So that's the reason why he disappeared. The ritual was designed to augment his power. Had it succeeded, he would have become an accomplished magician, the first step toward becoming an Ice Lord. Given the ease with which I killed him, I suspect the ritual was a failure, or at least a partial failure.
Let's just say the results weren't quite what he was hoping for. But something definitely happened. There was a burst of light, or maybe flame. This thing entered inside me.
A thing? What thing?
A sort of parasite. The Red Scribes told me it was a demon.
Neither one nor the other, insolent boy. I bring thee flames. I bring thee the world heart. I bring thee the power, and thou doth hold me back with thy ingratitude and thy weak, pitiful body. Thou darest name me parasite.
Hello? You still here?
Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. He's kind of sensitive.
I must say, I have never heard of such a thing. It is, at the very least, troubling.
The end result is I sometimes find myself wondering who I am, what I am. That is, when we're not arguing, or it's not taking control without asking me what I think about it. Then again...
This is absolutely fascinating. I think, when we get the chance, we should talk about it in more depth, meaning we undoubtedly need to experiment a bit. There is probably much to learn from this demon.
We'll see. For now, we've got more pressing problems. Let's finish this discussion in Valvanor. Better get back before they send a battalion out to look for us. Then I'll be pissed, but I gotta go face him.
Well, first go see your steward before the villagers decide to burn me at the stake. I mean, if you want to, Vulcan.
It'll probably turn into an interrogation pretty quickly. Try not to make it worse for yourself. And don't kill anyone, for starters. Especially if he's wearing red.
That seems reasonable to me, for the moment. I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Why? You're not planning to give me the slip by any chance, are you?
I don't like the idea of getting locked up by the Red Scribes again. It might provoke me into a loss of my legendary restraint. And I'm sure that you don't want to have to scrape another one of your employers up off the ground.
Well, it's true that I prefer they remain in one piece. All right, fine, you can stay here. But if you do get it in your head to run away, I will find you. You won't like it when I do.
I'm trembling, but yes, I'll wait here.
Did you find this famous beast?
Found it and killed it. But don't hold your breath waiting for its fur for next winter, because I didn't bring it back for you.
Excellent news. I knew the village could count on you.
Actually, not so excellent. Alis is dead.
Dead? But no, that's not possible. Are you sure?
When it doesn't move and it doesn't breathe and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah.
I demand that you show some respect. The Red Scribes are a precious help to us here. Aeolus was a useful man, a good man, and he was under your care.
A precious help, huh? You know the beast didn't get there by accident, right? Your precious friends put it there to guard a woman that they've been secretly holding prisoner for weeks.
A woman? In the middle of the swamp? That is unusual. But why would the scribes choose to do such a thing?
Other than the fact that they're walking libraries, we know nothing about their sect. Nobody's got any idea what they're capable of. But everybody keeps their mouths shut because they can do a few tricks. And we never had better doctors. Aeolus was even ready to kill his own daughter to cover up his secrets.
What nonsense is this? How can you make such ridiculous accusations? Am I to understand he died at your hands?
He turned up all alone at the place where I fought the beast. No guide, no escort. He knew the way. And after coming after Sybil, he tried to kill his captive to shut her up. There was a fight, and he didn't survive.
What madness. What do you know of this prisoner? If Aeolus held her captive, she must have been dangerous.
She doesn't talk much, but something tells me she knows more than she's letting on about the Ice Lords.
I don't like this. You realize you may have set a wolf among the sheep.
Or maybe someone who could be useful in our fight with the Deadwalkers.
Well then, you must find out immediately. As of now, she is your responsibility. I should deliver her to the Red Scribes without any further ado, yet, after what you have told me, I no longer know what to think. She will be given a fair hearing. Until that time, she never leaves your presence. If there is the least incident, I promise you, you shall answer for it. And there is no prison here, in case you had not noticed.
Okay. Sounds fair to me.
However low your opinion was of Aeolus, his death is a great loss for Valvanor. He was meant to be looking into a most disturbing matter.
All right, I can see where this is headed. What do you want?
There is no guarantee that you have the necessary skills to handle this matter, Freeborn Blade. Even Mirana is flummoxed.
What is it? An epidemic?
That's exactly what I'd like to know. Several of the villagers have been behaving curiously of late. They have become distant, taciturn, and barely react to the world around them.
They're just hungover. You'd know if you got drunk more often. And you look like you need to.
I believe there are a few here who know the difference. It's something else. They seem very concentrated, as though they are observing us. I feared some kind of sickness and that it will spread throughout the village.
Got it. I'll slap them around a little. That should wake them up.
My goodness. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but I must confess the results interest me more than the methods.
Well, that's gonna be my method, so let's leave it at that if you don't mind. I'm not helping you because you made puppy eyes at the captain.
As I understand it, some people are behaving even more stupidly than they normally do?
That's right. They have asked me to check it out.
Perfect. I'll come along with you.
Hang on. What is your interest in all of this? Is there something you're not telling me? What are you trying to prove by coming with me?
How perceptive, how brilliant.
Yeah, great. Just tell me what you know or think you know about all of this.
All right, but keep it to yourself for the moment. We don't want to start a panic, at least not until we're completely sure of ourselves. It seems to me that I recognize these symptoms, and if I am right, these people are possessed.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not yet certain. We absolutely must inspect and investigate further in order to be sure. But I think the Deadwalker army is behind all of this.
All right, let's go. Are you okay? I was just, you know, being polite. Don't feel like you have to give me your whole life story.
Hast thou gone mad? His lips moveth not.
I'm just trying to save face. I hate being ignored.
Vulcan! For fuck's sake! What did you do to Aeolas?
I never laid a finger on him, Captain. But if you want my opinion, I think he screwed us over.
So you had to kill him? That was our fucking employer. Could you not take 2 goddamn seconds to think about that?
I didn't kill him. It was this woman, Edwin. She killed him.
That's what they told me. That doesn't change the fact that that dish rag of a scribe was our client. And your job was to protect him. If he was trying to fuck us over, it's up to me to deal with that. And for a starter, where did this wee tart that's spilling out of her dress come from?
She was his prisoner in the swamp. Looks like he was trying to get information out of her, which he obviously didn't give him, considering she's still alive.
All right, then. Maybe she can be of use to us. I already spoke with Aeolas's assistant. Seems he pulled the wool over their eyes as much as he did ours. They're petrified. So they've agreed to honor their contract with us. I need you to get this Edwin woman to talk. I want to know where she's from, who she is, who she works for. All of it. Watch out for the Red Scribes. You don't want to get fooled twice.
Understood, Captain. I'll check it out.
If you can find Hawk, tell him to get his arse back here. I sent him out on a recon mission and he still hasn't come back.
You think something happened to him?
Well, there aren't any decent whorehouses around here, so yes, something may well have happened to him.
I'll find him, sir. I'm leaving.
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
Have you heard about these villagers who were acting strange?
Yes, I've had reports about them. The whole thing stinks, if you ask me. Take that one over there, for example. The one giving me the fisheye. If we weren't stuck in this place, I'd go over there and put his lights out. I've asked Buffalo to keep an eye on them. If they start getting squirrely, he'll give us a heads up.
Captain, have you had any news about Hawk?
Are you trying to be funny? I sent you to find him. Is that demon of yours eating away your tiny brain or what?
Captain, I wanted to ask... Why did we fall back to the swamp?
The Red Scribes knew of this place and said that we'd be safe here for a while. And apart from a few repulsive beasties creeping around outside the walls, it's actually quite peaceful. I don't think I'd buy a house here, though. Would you? So we'll heal our wounded, try and learn what's happening to you, and then get the hell out of here.
Do you think the company is going to make it?
Of course. The Blades have always come through. They've existed for more than 2 centuries, and they won't give up now. Not during my watch. But to tell you the truth, we're not looking too fresh. Not with the losses we took back at the temple. And as for new recruits, it's been what? A year or more since we found anyone worthwhile.
Most of us were recruited when the war began, and there aren't many of us left. The only available recruits now are either cowards, deserters, or kids.
If we're gonna hold this village, we're going to have to do it using the locals, even though most of them look like they couldn't organize a party in a brewery. As soon as we've recovered a bit, we'll break camp and head for Carroll Pass. I already sent some of the Blades ahead to see if they could find any new recruits. With a bit of luck, they'll come up with something better than one-armed, no-legged trolley rollers.
Do you really think we should be trusting these red scribes?
I've never really trusted that Aeolas fellow. I could sense he was hiding a knife behind his back. Looks like I was right. But that changes nothing. We still work for them.
Do you really think we should be trusting these reds?
If you...
Really?
Sex.
I'm leaving. The captain tells me you're keeping an eye on the villagers that are acting weird.
Yes. Look at them. You see that couple? Take a good look at the husband. I've seen livelier zombies. It's like he was dead inside. And they aren't the only ones. There must be at least half a dozen of them. But what bothers me is that if you look closely, you can see they're checking everything out.
But what's wrong with them?
No idea. They look like they're turning into deadwalkers, but the odd thing is how they're spread out. You see how they're placed? They can check out most of the village from where they are. I'm almost certain they're scouting the place out for someone. Since you seem interested, you should go and talk to them. Look, I've marked out their positions on the map.
I have a few questions for you. Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Against the Deadwalker army? No chance. Now, the Ice Lords, that's another question.
What do you mean?
Only that sometimes you have to try to chop off the head, you know? That bunch of walking corpses wouldn't be any trouble at all if there was no one to guide them.
I guess you're right, but I don't think that makes the task any simpler.
There was a time, way back, you know, when there were so many of us in the company, several hundred, that the captain decided to delegate. So he chose 2 lieutenants. Those 2 assholes fought over how to share out the men for weeks. They both wanted to take the best men for their group. And the result? We had our asses handed to us by an army that was hardly more numerous than we were. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the Deadwalkers are just the same. You've got 7 bosses, and each one of them wants to control everything.
So if we were able to set them against each other?
Now you're thinking straight. I don't know how we could do it, but I'm sure that it's possible.
See you later.
Is it true you killed the beast?
Is it true you quit the booze?
What? Ah, that's a load of bollocks.
I thought so, but I did kill the beast.
Right. Okay, then. You and me, we got off on the wrong foot. We owe you one. That's a man's job you done.
According to the steward, some of the villagers have been acting strange. Do you have any suggestions?
Hey, I'm not a bloody oracle. Bring me some clues, something concrete, anything, and then I can help you.
Okay, I'll come back when I know more. I'm going.
My goodness, let's see. You're not pissing blood, you're not vomiting your guts out. Both legs are in place and they seem to be holding you upright. Congratulations. It looks like you'll pull through. And now you'll excuse me, but I have other miracles to accomplish, and not much time to devote to people in your condition.
Take it easy there, Doc. I'm with the Freeborn Blades, not one of your refugees.
You could be Blackstorm himself for all I care. Now get out of my way, I have things to do.
Have you decided what you're going to do with me?
I'm working on it.
Meanwhile, I remain a prisoner.
If you stay here, I'll just have to watch you. I'm not much for babysitting. So you are free to go and take your chances elsewhere.
Now that is a tempting proposition. What a difficult choice. Stay near a fascinating magical manifestation never seen before, or take my chances in the swamps and perhaps beyond. Do I really have to pretend to choose? You had better get used to my presence, mercenary. I will be your shadow until I have learned everything about you and your intriguing host.
Congratulations. First she was thy prisoner, and now it seems thou art her prisoner.
Thanks. you all right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Good day. Are you related to this man?
You might say that. Miliev is my husband. I'm called Nigella.
Well, do you know what's wrong with him? Have you noticed anything strange about him lately?
Well, of course I noticed. He's the one who's a vegetable, not me. Still, I must admit, it's been nice and peaceful.
How long ago did he change?
About 3 days ago. He went out hunting in the swamps. But when he come back empty-handed, he had that far-away look in his eyes.
In what way peaceful? Is he normally an active guy?
Active? You must be joking. But it's the first time in years I don't have to listen to him whinging and complaining all day long. And I don't know which of the gods I have to thank, but he don't snore no more neither.
You mean he sleeps soundly?
Well, he sleeps less, if that's what you mean. I've even caught him sneaking out in the middle of the night, but he always comes back after a few hours.
Do you have any idea where he goes off to?
No, I've got no idea. Not down the tavern, and that's the main thing.
It doesn't bother you at all?
Let's be honest. Considering the sort of women what are still available in the village, and what a rubbish lover he is, I doubt he's got a mistress. And he's hardly gonna find any gorgeous sluts wandering around the swamps.
You might be surprised.
You're too kind. I can't decide whether I'm flattered or vaguely insulted.
Don't change a thing. You're perfect.
So true. Thanks for noticing.
Sorry to have bothered you. I'll go.
We now know that our strange patients are going out at night. So, let's find out where they're going.
Greetings. So how is everything going for you? This is going well? Do you know this woman?
Of course I know her. Her name's Agatha, and she's my wife these past 8 years. Even if the old cow treats me like she doesn't know me.
What happened to her?
Ask her yourself. You don't talk to me no more. I know we had our ups and downs, but still.
How long has she been like this?
It come over her like a dose of the shits a couple of days ago. See, she goes off with Jervis and the others to go and collect berries in the swamp, and when they comes back, not one of them will talk to me.
Where exactly did they go?
What? How the fuck should I know? You'll pardon me, but gathering berries is women's work. But at any rate, they never go far, otherwise they never come back at all.
So she didn't go alone? Jervis is one of Mason's men, isn't he?
Yeah, that's him. There were 5 or 6 of them. Why don't you go and ask Jervis? He should be over by the barracks. He'll have a better chance. He'll talk to you if you don't mention me.
Is there anything else strange about her, apart from the not talking?
Well, she ain't much between the thighs, if that's what you mean. She don't say or do nothing. Just sort of lets me get on with it. She don't even pretend to notice what we're doing.
Men. Give them a piece of meat, and they're just a couple of minutes away from satisfaction and sleep.
Yeah, sure, but not every man is like that.
True. Some are more discerning. Others show the meat a little more respect.
I was only trying to give her a nice moment to patch things up between us, sort of.
That's not really what I was asking about, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. There might be something else. I woke up this night, and she weren't there. I must have dozed a half hour before I gone back to sleep, but she never come back. I never saw her again until sunrise.
And I imagine you have no idea where she could have gone?
None. And she wouldn't say nothing to me, like usual. I hope that bitch ain't off seeing another man. That's all I need.
I can't imagine why she would want to do that. You seem like the perfect husband.
I'll be leaving now.
I think we'd better go back and talk to that drunken sot who pretends to be chief of the guard. We need to find out where that expedition is going.
Oh there, Powder Man. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
Pretty quiet around here, huh?
Yeah, too quiet for my taste. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No, but it'll slow them down. Maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet your ass they're already here. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the Ice Lords are watching us, right now.
I have a few questions for you. See you later.
Do I have to spill it out, or should I just put my boot in your arse? Clear off!
Would you just shut your stupid mouth for 2 seconds, please? The steward sent me here to help you.
Oh, that's all I need. Don't he think I got enough on my plate? Now he sends me some ore blade from God's know where. Hey, as long as it ain't me is paying for you, hey? You want to help? Knock yourself out. But I warn you, there's plenty to do.
Get to the point before I set your breath on fire.
All right, take it easy. No need to get nasty, eh? You want to help? Yes or no?
Keep talking.
Well, for a start, you could try and find one of my patrols that's gone missing. At first, I thought maybe one of those half-wits was sleeping it off under a tree somewhere. But it's been a while now. Maybe something bad happened to him in the swamp.
I found some watchmen out in the northern swamp. And yeah, looks like something bad killed them.
Oh, shit. Fucking idiots. That's exactly what I needed right now, to lose my best sentries. And they were the last ones with halfway decent weapons. You didn't think to bring them back, did you? That could save a few lives.
I didn't strip their corpses, no. But if I go back that way, I'll see what I can bring back.
It won't be luxury. I don't know if you've seen what we're supposed to fight with, but... wow. If you can have a word with your quartermaster to see what he can do for my lads, you have my blessing.
The benediction of a drunk. Better and better.
It's what all us fucking mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right. We may be living in the arsehole of Virgil, but being armed like a bunch of tramps, we can do without. And while you're at it, when you've been to the forge, you'll probably feel like letting off steam a bit. Why don't you go and take it out on my lads?
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling. And show them a couple of tricks while you're at it. A bit of training. Couldn't do no harm.
Your men can't afford to keep their thumbs in their asses. It's time to teach them how to use those weapons.
Knock yourself out, Payblade. I'll go and shake them awake. Couldn't have done better. I reckon the lesson is gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again, while they're still warmed up?
Why not? Let's go.
Even so, they are making progress. If you whack them enough times, they remember how to defend themselves. Are you up for giving them one last lesson?
One last lesson.
Yeah! Nice job. Of course, they'll hate you for a while, but what they learned here today will save their lives one day.
My pleasure. I like this way of saving lives.
Look at this. My favorite fucking troublemaker.
About those sentry guards. So where exactly did the patrol disappear?
Somewhere out in the swamp, to stop the chrysalids from regrouping too close to the village. But I specifically ordered them not to go too far.
I'll handle it. I'll go find them. Is there some place in the village where I can get your men's equipment repaired without it costing me an arm and a leg?
Only one I know of is that ass blacksmith's forge. And just talking to him usually costs me an arm, 2 legs, and both me bollocks.
Thanks for the tip. I'm going.
Haven't you anything better to do than bother me?
Hang on a sec. The steward himself sent me here to give you a hand.
Wonderful. I've been after him for months to get me some help, and he sends me an armed ape. You practice medicine, I presume? Your tools seem rather barbaric.
Hey, I might actually surprise you.
Really? Well, in that case, I need some black ochre water lilies, some root of varatane, and some lindidia leaves. Since you're so clever, you won't have any trouble recognizing them and bringing them back.
Insolent little puppy.
You're one of those who likes to give people a stick to beat you with, aren't you?
Shut up, or I will beat you. I'm no fucking herbalist, and you know it. If you want to see what I can do, give me a shot. Either you need help and you want me to handle it, or you don't, and you deal with it yourself.
Well then, I suppose I have nothing to lose. In fact, there is something that you could doubtless do for me. I'm worried about my assistant Haymond. I haven't seen him for a while now, and I fear he might have gone into the swamps to look for the plants I need. We're forced to venture further and further in to find the plants we need. With all that's been going on lately, I forbade him from going back out alone, but the boy is nothing if not stubborn.
Stubborn? Yeah, I hate people like that.
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since he arrived. Without him, the House of Healing would be a house of death.
If I'm gonna be slogging through the swamps anyway, might as well take a look around and try to bring back the plants you need too, right? You got any drawings or descriptions?
Yes, that's a good idea. I would be grateful to you, but above all, try to bring back my assistant Haymond in one piece. He is your priority. For the rest, basically, I need food, medicinal herbs, and of course, I wouldn't say no to a few pre-prepared potions. All of our stock seems to disappear so quickly. I'll give you the parchment that I made for Haymond to help you recognize the specimens I need. He knows them by heart now, after so many trips.
Right. Plants, potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across any elven tea, would you like a cup of that too?
That would be lovely.
I'd like to see what you have to sell.
Look at this.
I'm going.
I'll wait for you here.